Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen. 6 billion people on Earth when the infection hit.
Dude, what are all these homeless people doing in front of your house?
I don't know. Spare any change, sir?
No, off! I don't get it. My dad said as long as nobody gave them money, they'd move on.
He did?
Well, this is bullcrap. Somebody has to be responsible.
The end of time to occur on the 21st of December of this year.
You can't be in here. No, please. I don't have any change. Honest, I don't.
This year.
I don't have any change. I don't have any change. There's some change. I don't have any change. I don't have any change.
These are desperate times.
We only have enough change to sustain our population till the end of the month.
We're talking about the extinction of the human race.
He's become one of them.
God didn't do this. We did.
I take all my money and spend it on supplies and paper. Now for about 4 months, 5 months. You don't never know until, like I didn't never figure my needs to go out. Well, my plan is not being on the street. Right now, I'm a little short, getting there, but every day I struggle to get to, get off the street. It all work out. I pray to God that I'll be okay, and I'm fighting the fight.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. When I don't run up to people and trudge them down to get change. I don't shake my cup and I don't put it in their face and I don't, hey, please help me and nothing like that, I try to draw to get something back, not so far to start a little thing down here. Hopefully it'll catch on with a lot of the other homeless people. They got some kind of talent or something that they can display that God ordained them with, and I'm hoping they show that. I'm hoping they find themselves with
that. None of us were making any money. I was making like $0, and then I got fired. And everyone wouldn't say depression or recession. It was right before they started saying it, they were like, yeah, we're in kind of a whatever time. And I was like, am I going crazy? I have no money.
Headlines yesterday read, Rolls-Royce has record year in 2011, while at the same time, another headline says, U.S. poverty hits record levels, surpassing levels of 1960s after the Great Depression. Can you believe it? People better wake up, because the greatest depression ever is approaching America, Europe, and the world. There's no turning back from this. The Federal Reserve of the United States and Europe are fighting viciously to avoid this reality, but they cannot. I was listening to Rick Santelli today. He was talking about how he was on a rant again, and he's always 100% right. We are kicking this down the road in ignorance, just pretending nothing's wrong. Congress, Senate, pretending like nothing's wrong.
You can clearly agree on is it's a big problem, and it's a bigger problem in 2012 than it was in 2008. It is not going away. We are working to try and alleviate some of the pain.
I live in Ohio. I came to Boston to start a new job. When I got here, it was given to someone else and they didn't tell me. So now I'm staying in a homeless shelter. I've been looking for work since November. I've come close several times.
You have a PhD in aeronautics, physics?
And a master's
PhD in physics.
From Dartmouth College and a master's in electrical engineering.
How did
Purdue University. I was set to go back to work, then the economy tanked. And that's what happens. So where do we go? When you have no money, it's very difficult to start over.
Yeah, it is.
And frankly, staying at the shelter has been an experience I don't want to repeat ever in my life.
For a lot of people, too.
So I'm hoping to find something very, very soon.
We've seen not just poverty rise, right? The historic low was 1973, and we've never been that low again. But we've seen steady declines in not just the size of the American middle class, but the total wealth of the American middle class. So there's a smaller middle class to begin with, and that middle class is poorer.
American families have been falling out of the middle class in record numbers. The combination of lost jobs and millions of foreclosures means a lot of folks are homeless and hungry for the first time in their lives. It is estimated the poverty rate for kids in this country will soon hit 25%. Those children would be the largest American generation to be raised in hard times since the Great Depression. David and Teresa Corfey never imagined their family homeless. Together, they were making about $40 an hour detailing expensive cars. There was a 3-bedroom home, vacations, extras for the kids. But both jobs went, and then the house. Evicted, they found that the homeless shelters wanted to split their family up, boys and girls.
I really noticed what people were actually going through until we're actually going through it too.
Nationwide, 14 million children were in poverty before the Great Recession. Now the U.S. Census tells us it's 16 million, up 2 million in 2 years. That is the fastest fall for the middle class since the government started counting 51 years ago.
The people that's homeless, there's a shot for them, but they got to put effort in it as well. If the government's going to help them, they have to put effort. So you can't help nobody unless they want to help themselves. Well, I feel that because I was homeless at one time myself.
The economy sucking helps me kind of go for it more because I'm like school's not going to hook me up with jobs. I have to go find it. And like they're barely getting me knowledgeable, but I'm studying myself. If I can't afford to go to school, I'll work and I'll just study on the internet.
Reasons to be pessimistic. There are a lot of people my age that are out of work, that can't find jobs, that as soon as they get out of college can't find jobs.
It's scary. It's so scary.
Embarrassing as it was, I sat down with a magic marker, and I've seen these people on the road with these signs before, and I wrote a sign out.
What did the sign say? It
said, "Please help, family of 5." Every truck that went by would holler up out to them or let them see my sign, "Hey, do you need any help? You know, can I get a job? Do you need any help?"
I didn't think that it was going to have to come down to that. He was actually going to go and take the sign and show it to people, and I don't want people to know that he's my dad. I don't want to be embarrassed by people.
You must have thought that you would never be that guy, the guy with the sign.
Never in a million years did I think that would be me. And I told my wife, this is America, and America that's full of wonderful people, and I'm going to go out and see what I can do and see if there's someone out there that can help us.
He showed us the sign that eventually caught the eye of a woman who stopped to say she might have a job for him.
And sure enough, that phone rang about a week later. She said, "David, I'd like to tell you you're golden. We have a job for you, and you can start Friday."
I need help and understanding. It says that I lost my little girl in a car accident. Shortly after that, I lost my home. Anything helps. Before my accident, I was like everybody else, you know. They're out here because, something happened in their life, They don't want to be out here. They're not out here because they, like begging and eating out of garbage cans and sleeping, under dirty bridges, I had a home to go to, a shower, caring to know that it's not everybody out here is out here because they've done something wrong or, they don't want to live a normal life, Some of us had a normal life and
As homelessness continues to increase in the United States, there is more bad news on the job front. Thousands of Americans are learning they will soon lose much needed benefits from the federal government in order to survive. Extended unemployment benefits are set to expire in several states in the U.S., and unless there's an extension from Washington, around 30 states will lose extended benefits within 6 months this year, meaning tens of thousands of Americans will be without a job and without a way to receive money to get by. The Labor Department says emergency unemployment benefits helped around 3 million workers in January, 500,000 receiving extended benefits.
An astonishing number of people work at low-wage jobs. Plus, many more households are headed by a single parent, making it difficult for them to earn a living income from the jobs that are typically available.
One U.S. state makes it illegal to discriminate against the homeless, but dozens of cities across the country are going in the opposite direction. How does America treat its most vulnerable?
Most U.S. cities do not provide enough affordable housing, shelter space, or food to meet the needs of homeless people. Now, many have passed or are considering measures that target the homeless and the people who help them. Now, here's a few examples. In Philadelphia, it's illegal to hand out food outdoors unless you have a permit. It's illegal to keep belongings on public property or sleep outside in St. Petersburg, Florida. And Los Angeles has been handing out citations for anything from flicking the ash from a cigarette on the sidewalk or drinking in public. Advocacy groups have labeled it the country's meanest city. Almost 40% of those people who are homeless are actually military veterans.
There are 60,000 members of this group that are homeless in America on any given night. It is veterans, U.S. veterans, 60,000 of them are homeless on any given night. And that's unacceptable because these are the men and women that risk their lives for this country. The government needs to do more to take care of the men and women it enlists into armed service.
Living in a suburb, right, sort of 20, 30, 40 miles from anywhere, you're not close to any concentration of services, and how are you going to get there, right? Very often, people find themselves poor because they're just barely getting by, right? Driving an hour and a half back and forth to work every day, and then the car breaks down. And they don't have enough money to repair the car, which means they lose the job, which means, of course, they sink more deeply into poverty. Under those circumstances, when you are most desperately in need of support services to help you get back on your feet, is when you're least able to access them.
It's on a large sort of philosophical level of thinking about who's getting screwed here and who's doing the screwing.
Something is wrong with you. Everybody else is making it. How come you're not making it? Our governor now, for instance, Andrew Cuomo, his father got his college education when New York City had a free college education program. Now the demographics has changed. The people applying to City College now don't look like the Eastern Europeans. Education is no longer free. That makes acculturation and assimilation more difficult. And it's an impediment to upward mobility. Has a direct impact on homelessness.